Good afternoon, Devanayagi. Can you tell us why you started the play project?
The play project. Why I started the play project. I started the play project 6 years ago. My husband supported me in starting the play project. Initially, I was doing aquatherapy sessions in a public pool. And actually, as the word came out, a lot of people approached me. But aquatherapy, I mean, even though it's a wonderful modality and it really can help children, it's also limited for further progress. Because at the end, kids need to be able to work on land and need to have skills on land. So that's why I decided to start the center and to create a center that's basically a one-stop center where all the therapies are being provided by professionals, so with professional, with legit certificates, and with professionals who actually know what they're doing.
So you have professional staff with you?
Yes.
Well-trained graduate staff?
Yes. Because even though passion and love for special kids is very important in this work, because otherwise it's very difficult to do the work. You need a certain background. You need backup. You need theoretical knowledge in order to be able to work with the kids. If you don't have the theoretical knowledge, you don't know how to follow through. You don't know how to step up with the therapy. So yes, all the therapists are qualified. We are in Seremban, so Seremban is a reasonable town in Negeri Sembilan in Malaysia. There's a lot of kids even in here in Seremban that need a lot of help. So what we do, we have physiotherapists, we have occupational therapists, of course aquatherapy because I'm still working with the kids in the pool. Then we have child psychologists, speech therapist. So basically the whole center is there. So we provide early intervention program, we have a social group, we have an advanced group where we start focusing more on academics, we do school readiness. Of course we have occupational therapy, one-to-one physiotherapy, so we provide also for variety of special needs. We have kids with rare disease coming to the center. At the moment our youngest is 1.5 and our oldest is 16 if I'm not mistaken. So there's a lot of kids with autism and GDD, but also kids with Williams syndrome, Down syndrome, other syndromes and rare disease, cerebral palsy, and any learning difficulties. So what we do, we start out with an assessment. At the moment we have an assessment package in which you have to come in for 3 appointments, in which we do 4 assessments. So it's an OT, AT assessment, a speech therapy assessment, and a child psychologist assessment. So with that assessment you get reports, and then we make suggestions of what we can do for your child.
Can I come for all the 3 assessments in one day?
No, because most kids it's too much, the 3 hours, because it's a lot of talking and then it's just too much. So we prefer to come. You have to basically make 3 appointments for the 4 assessments. The OT and the AT assessment is in one go. With the speech therapy and child psychology, you have to come in 3 more times in total.
Okay.
But you can also, if you only, so you can do the package assessment, or you can come in for a speech assessment. It depends on what your main concern is for your child and what you want for your child. So
I'd like to ask you a bit more about the EIP group. What would the child benefit by being part of an EIP group?
EIP group is an early intervention program. So we like to start the kids early, because if you talk about any syndromes, but also about autism or developmental delays, intervention is crucial when it starts when they're young, because the brain is still moldable, the body is still young, so kids pick up faster. Once kids reach a certain age of 6, 7, 8, the progress will be slower. So in the EIP group, we basically start a lot with sensory play. So a lot of outdoor, messy play, a lot of physical activities. Early intervention, you talk about kids from 3 to 5 years old. The idea is to eventually make them enroll into a typical kindy, and eventually, have them that they can start in standard 1.
Yeah, the problem is in Seremban we don't get many kindies that are geared for special needs children. Do you have any aim in doing that, for playing, having a secondary program which is more like Hindi?
It's basically what we do. We start with the early intervention. So we start with the young kids, because especially the kids with autism and Down syndrome, they come in with a lot of sensory issues. So once you've settled that and you see that they're ready for more academic, like more towards a typical kindy, then we also have the academic support. So that's basically a one-to-one setting within the EIP group, where the kids get taken out of the group and they work together with the teacher to, basic pre-academic skills, pre-writing, learning colors, learning numbers. We also incorporate that in the physical activities that are being done in the group setting. But kids benefit enormously from one-to-one settings, because then the focus is only on them in a one-to-one setting. So basically that's for them to catch up, to go to kindy. Then our next program will be for the kids that basically that would not flourish in a school setting, because some kids, even though you start early or even sometimes later, they just would not flourish in a school setting, even in normal kindy or in standard 1. It's just too much for them. So then at the moment we also have an advanced group, so that's for bigger kids from 6 till 9. So they're bigger kids. We still focus on a lot of physical activities, because you talk about a lot of coordination work, and you talk about still the sensory integration. See, if kids are just not ready for academic learning, then it's no use to sit them down on a chair and try to make them focus, because it just doesn't work. So we try to vary the activities, and then some table tasks, basically to create the interest, and also to grasp that moment that they can focus.
Okay, thank you very much, Devanayagi. Hope to speak to you next week.
Okay, thank you.
Bye now.
Welcome. Pleasure.